Hello and welcome to this video where we talk about how to clean your keyword list using Python. We're going to code a tool that will allow you to clean your own keywords using Python in Jupyter Notebook. So you've probably had this issue that you have a huge list of keywords, but most of them are junk. So how do you filter out the good ones from the bad ones? That's what we will solve in this video. My name is Mark Möller from Ecom Experts, and let's dive right in. So we are going to using ChatGPT, and specifically ChatGPT 4.0. That is the best version if you are worried about running out of credits on ChatGPT, because sometimes you're limited in how many messages you can send. But in general, 0.1 and 0.1 mini are the best, but they have those limits. So you need to check whether you can use 0.1 for this programming task. And we will run through a real-life example here. So let's say you're doing keyword research for a store that sells protein powder. And you want to find just the keywords that have that buyer intent. Now, you could come here and use some kind of buyer intent keywords, but I find the classification that SEMrush provides here not enough. And you might have other things that you don't want. So words like recipe, for example, you could use here the exclude function and let's say here put recipe in here and so on. But the version that I will show you is a lot more granular, and it shows you exactly what keywords have been removed, and it allows you to build your own list over time, making it much more scalable in the future. And so the goal would be here that we dive into a specific keyword type, let's say whey protein, and we would just download the whole whey protein list here. So let's grab that. That's going to be around 12,000 keywords. And so now that we have this list of keywords, we will go through and look at what is it that fits our store and what is it that we want to remove. And we make a note in a comma separated list just so that we can remove those words specifically. And this actually doesn't work well in SEMrush, because in SEMrush, if you want to remove something with a slightly different variation, let's say you want the singular but not the plural, that doesn't work in SEMrush because they seem to be removing things by the stem of the word. So if you want to remove optimize but not optimized D with an end at the D at the end, that won't work in SEMrush. So this approach is quite helpful and has been really beneficial for me. So overall, where it fits in is that we first want to do some broad keyword research where we gather this long list of keywords. Then we start cleaning that list, and then we cluster that keyword list, usually by SERPs. So depending on how the search result looks like, we cluster them. And this step is quite expensive. So that's why we want to clean the list first, because there's no use of sending 20,000 keywords for clustering and paying $200 just for that clustering process, and then actually polluting our cluster with all of the words that we don't want, which makes it a lot harder to then prioritize. So the goal is to send a clean list to clustering, making it cheaper and easier to then work with. So words like Amazon, I definitely don't want to have for my store. That is already part of my list. That's why it's so helpful to actually use this process, because a lot of the times once you build your list in a certain industry, you don't need to change that. You can simply do your keyword research again, let's say after 6 to 12 months, and just load that list up, and most of the things will stay the same. So you do work one time, and then over time it pays off. So I like that way of working. That's why I wanted to show you this process over here. And so other things that we probably don't want are things like Walmart, for example. I think we had that in here. Yep, Walmart, that's already part of our negatives list. And so we're just creating that list over here of negative words, of other brand names as well. And once we're happy with that, we will actually make sure that we're loading that in our Python script. You will need Jupyter Notebook for this. And we've created a new text file here called protein.txt. All of our protein-specific negative keywords will go in there. And we're also excluding things like somebody looking for protein powder in India, for example, or in specific cities, because we might not want to cover that. Cool, and I will make this script available for you as a subscriber. So make sure that you subscribe to my email newsletter down below, and I will send that out in about a week's time. Otherwise, you can also connect on LinkedIn. All right, so now that we have our list of negative keywords, we want to actually input or load that list of keywords that we want to analyze and clean as our keyword input file. So inside of the folder, it looks like this, where you have keyword input, then you've got the text files. And so you want to just open that keyword input file, grab your file that you have downloaded with all of your keywords. Now we want to select all of them, Control Shift down and copy all of those. Put them into the input file and save that. And now we should be able to simply run this. And then you will see it appear in the output file over here. You can see I've run a bunch of these already. And we now have two files. We have the removed keywords and the cleaned keywords file. And so we can open up the removed keywords file first. And we will look at what the tool has actually taken out. Okay, so we can see already some really nice things that have been removed here. You can see here in column B why it's been removed. So here it's saying there was the word YouTube found in the competitors.txt, and in Wisconsin was found inside of states.txt. So if you want to specifically do protein powders in Wisconsin, simply go to state.txt, remove Wisconsin, and now you can include that in your cleaned file. Then Walmart has been removed quite a lot. Let's see in total how many keywords have been removed here. That looks to be 1,800 keywords that have been removed. So almost 20%, which have all been for those brand searches and competitors. And a lot of the time people are looking for reviews. Probably if you're having your own store, you don't want to post reviews. But again, if you do want to, feel free to include those. These are question words here. They've been removed as well. Then competitor brands. So really nice way to clean up that list of keywords. And now we can look at the cleaned file as well. Okay, wonderful. We've got now a list of cleaned keywords over here. You can see that Costco, for example, has been removed already. Sorry, Costco is still in. That would be one that I would add to the negatives file. But we won't spend too much time here just building out that negatives file. But you can see here all of the keywords that have made it into our cleaned keywords file. So the next step that I would do here is copy that whole list of 10,000 keywords and go to ChatGPT. You need a paid subscription for this one. Make sure that you use GPT-01 because that has quite a large context window. I believe around 30,000 effective input tokens. We're talking about maybe 20,000 words, 15,000 words. So you could fit a lot in here. And now I'm saying find all the competitor words in this list, put them into a comma separated list. And let's see what we got here as output. So now we've got a huge list of competitors. Beautiful. Now I can come back to my protein file, save that, remove anything here that is kind of an explanation. We just want the competitors. I guess I could have done that slightly better in terms of my prompt, but that's okay. Well, it's just a demonstration here. So we save that again. Now we're going to rerun that again. So you simply come to the file here. You hit Control and Enter to rerun this. Going back to our output file, and our file seems to be here already. And now let's check out our removed keywords list. It should have grown quite a bit. Before, I think we had about 2,000 keywords. Okay, now we have 2,700. So yeah, it looks like we've got quite a few new keywords that we found. And here we can also see in terms of what has been removed, lots of competitors that have been removed from this list, making it really nice. Also things like Reddit, YouTube, reviews, All of those things have been removed as well, making sure that we have a very nicely cleaned list of keywords that we can now work with and analyze. Because in the next step, what we want to do is to actually get an understanding of what types of word patterns occur in there. So you can simply come down here and find where the keyword file is being loaded in, here where this large indentation is, and you simply load in your file in here, change this out, and then again hit Control and Enter, and you will come here now to get the output all the way in the bottom. So you can see the 2 grams means the 2 words together that most often occurred is protein powder, count 8,000, whey protein, and so on. And then we also have 3 grams and 4 grams. But I like to just go Control A, go to a Google Sheet and paste that in. And now you've got a nice list here in Google Sheets of what the most commonly occurring words are inside of your list of keywords, which can be very helpful to look at. So the most common 3 words that appear together is whey protein powder, and then isolate, and then whey isolate. So when you're writing your page titles, you want to make sure that you've got whey and isolate most likely all together inside of that page title, because those are really popular together. Then people are also quite interested in the topic of grass-fed, and then flavors and so on. And here are the 4 grams, more of your long tail keywords. And then down here are the question keywords. So these are only keywords that are more of an informational nature, where people have typed a question word like who, what, when, where. Those types of keywords are down here. So people want to know how much protein to take, maybe how to make whey. And then we've got the same for 3 grams. So the most questions were about whey protein powder. And this could then be part of your informational content strategy, where you look at, okay, let me create some question-based articles on, for example, how to make protein powder, or how much protein powder is needed when I do bodybuilding, for example. Then you can link from the informational article to your category. So this analysis is quite nice to be able to get an overview of what the topics are that people are most interested in. So now I also want to teach you how you can build a tool like this. If you like this kind of content, please consider subscribing. It would help me out a lot, and liking this video and leaving a comment. So when you look at coding with ChatGPT, it's very important that you are as concise and specific as possible when you're starting out and making your first prompt, because otherwise you would just have to re-prompt over and over again to get the correct output that you want. So you need to almost think like an engineer before you're building the tool. What features do you want it to have? What could be the things that could go wrong? And then you build all of that into your prompt. So you can use that as a template. Start with the objective. What do you want to achieve? What do you want the tool to do first? And then list the features. So you want to load keywords, for example, in a text file. Then you want each keyword also to be mapped out in that file where we are removing the keyword, so that we can know why a keyword has been removed. Then we're also loading that input document, which contains all of our keywords from our broad keyword research. And then we are talking about how we can handle the cleaning of specific keywords. Now, when I first prompted this, I was not this specific, but I just wanted to give you a rough overview of what a good prompt should look like. And then you can go on and iterate on the program. So it's completely normal to go through multiple iterations, because I suppose we're not taking a week to plan a software project here. We're just trying to code some scripts relatively quickly, and it's normal that you don't get the correct output in the first, the second, or even the third prompt. Usually it takes, I would say, anywhere between 6 to 20 prompts to get the correct output and the tool that you need. Now, all you need to really run this is a computer with Python installed and Jupyter Notebook. You can look up how to install that. It's pretty simple. Within 5 to 10 minutes, you should be done with that. And then through your command console, you can start Jupyter Notebook on your computer as well. So I hope you found this content helpful. Subscribe to my email newsletter below to get this tool sent to your inbox, and looking forward to see you in the next video. Thank you. This is Mark from Ecom Experts.